The 2024 election. It's a phrase that sends chills down your spine, right? Like finding a spider in your cereal bowl, or realizing you agreed to host Thanksgiving this year. But here's the thing. This election, it's a big deal. It's not just about picking a president, it's about the very soul of American democracy. Are we headed for a brighter future, or a reality TV show gone horribly wrong? Buckle up, folks, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Think of it like this. America is at a crossroads. On one side, we've got the promise of progress, the hope for a more just and equitable society. On the other side, we've got some serious dark clouds looming. Think voter suppression, campaign finance shenanigans, and enough foreign interference to make your head spin. Now, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom. This election also saw some incredible victories for democracy. Record voter turnout, grassroots movements gaining serious momentum. It's like watching a political thriller where you're not sure who's going to come out on top. But here's the bottom line. The stakes couldn't be higher. The choices we make in 2024 will determine the course of our nation for generations to come. So, grab your popcorn, put on your thinking caps, and let's dive into the wild world of the 2024 election. Let's talk about dark money. No, not the kind you find stuffed under your mattress. I'm talking about the shadowy world of political spending, where anonymous donors can funnel millions into elections without anyone knowing who they are or what they're really after. Imagine this, a shadowy figure in a smoke-filled room writing a massive check to a super PAC. Who is this mysterious benefactor? What do they want? Are they a billionaire with a tax break agenda? A foreign government trying to tip the scales? We may never know. This flood of dark money creates a system where politicians are beholden to special interests, not to the people they're supposed to represent. It's like trying to have a fair fight with one hand tied behind your back. The problem is, this dark money is incredibly difficult to track. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. And as long as it continues to flow, our democracy will continue to be vulnerable to corruption and undue influence. Social media. It's where we go to share pictures of our lunch, argue with strangers, and apparently decide the fate of our nation. But here's the catch. Social media has become a breeding ground for misinformation and disinformation. Think about it. You're scrolling through your feed and you see a post claiming that a candidate is secretly a lizard person, or that the election was rigged by a cabal of international hackers. Do you believe it? The problem is, these lies spread like wildfire online. They're designed to be emotionally charged and easily shareable, preying on our fears and biases. And once they take root, they can be incredibly difficult to debunk. This constant barrage of misinformation can undermine trust in our elections and make it harder for voters to make informed decisions. It's like trying to solve a puzzle when someone keeps switching out the pieces. Now, let's talk about something we all love, a good old-fashioned political scandal. Because, let's face it, politicians are like toddlers with access to the nuclear codes. They need constant supervision. In the 2024 election, we saw a whole buffet of scandals, ranging from the mildly eyebrow-raising to the downright jaw-dropping. We had allegations of corruption, bribery, and abuse of power. And don't even get me started on the campaign finance violations. These scandals erode public trust and make it seem like the whole system is rigged. It's enough to make you want to throw your shoe at the television. Or, maybe just vote. Section 5. The fight for fairness, gerrymandering, and voter suppression. Imagine this. You show up to your polling place, ready to cast your vote, only to be told you're not on the list. Or you find out that your polling place has been moved to the middle of the desert. This, my friends, is the reality of voter suppression. Gerrymandering, on the other hand, is like playing a game of Tetris with electoral districts, where politicians get to choose their voters instead of the other way around. It's a cynical tactic that undermines fair representation and makes it harder for certain groups to have their voices heard. These tactics are a direct assault on our democracy, making it harder for people to exercise their fundamental right to vote. It's like trying to run a marathon with lead weights strapped to your ankles. Section 6. A Grassroots Awakening. Power to the People. But wait, there's hope. Amidst all the doom and gloom, something incredible happened. In 2024, people decided to fight back. Across the country, grassroots movements sprung up like mushrooms after a rainstorm. Ordinary citizens, fed up with the status quo, organized protests, registered voters, and made their voices heard. These movements were fueled by passion, determination, and a deep belief in the power of collective action. They showed that even in the face of daunting challenges, ordinary people can make a difference. It's enough to restore your faith in humanity. Section 7. Record turnout and civic engagement. A triumph for democracy. And guess what? All that grassroots organizing paid off. The 2024 election saw record voter turnout, with people from all walks of life lining up to cast their ballots. This surge in civic engagement was a powerful testament to the enduring strength of our democracy. It showed that even in these polarized times, Americans still believe in the power of their vote. This was a victory not for any one candidate or party, but for the very idea that every voice deserves to be heard. It was a powerful reminder that our democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires active participation from all of us. Section 8. Navigating the road ahead, challenges and opportunities. So, where do we go from here? Well, the road ahead won't be easy. We still face serious challenges, from disinformation to voter suppression. But the 2024 election also showed us that there's reason for hope. We saw the power of grassroots activism, the importance of civic engagement, and the resilience of our democracy. The key now is to keep the momentum going. We need to stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting for the future we want. Section 9. A call to action. Your vote, your voice. This is it, folks, the moment of truth. The 2024 election has come and gone, but our work is far from over. In fact, it's only just begun. Because here's the thing about democracy. It's not a spectator sport. It requires active participation from each and every one of us. So what can you do? First and foremost, vote. I know, you've heard it a million times before, but it's true. Your vote is your voice. It's your chance to shape the future of your community, your country, and your world. Don't let anyone tell you that your vote doesn't matter. It does. Every single vote counts. Section 10. Safeguarding the future towards a more perfect union. The 2024 election was a wake-up call. It showed us that our democracy is precious, but it's also fragile. It needs to be protected, nurtured, and fought for. We need to find common ground, bridge divides, and work together to create a more just and equitable society for all. It won't be easy, but it's essential if we want to preserve the ideals that make our country great. The future of our democracy depends on it. Let's get to work.